Live from the studios of Coefficient Media in Jackson, Michigan.
This is the Android Tech Show, episode number 49. This week, we're reviewing the Casio Commando. Ooh. That's right, we're going Commando. Going in.
This is the Android Tech Show. Every week we bring you the latest news in Android-based technology. To join the conversation and watch live, visit theandroidtechshow.com. Now, let's start the show. Welcome to the show, everybody.
This is Lane.
And this is Dave.
And we are the Android Tech Show. So we're coming at you this week with a nice fresh review of the Casio Commando. Our friends over at Verizon sent us this nice little review unit, and let me tell you, this thing is a tank. It is an absolute tank, Dave. What do you think about this this body? I know that you've been dying to drop it.
I know.
Is what I've been.
I'm not going to drop it.
I heard that 3 feet onto the concrete, and the thing doesn't have any problems.
That was about 2.5.
Yeah, but no,
it's not turning on anymore.
Whatever, because you're hitting the camera button.
Oh,
that's how. Yep, there you go.
It's over there. Oh, it works. Don't worry, Verizon. Break it.
Don't worry, Lane.
Don't worry. Yeah, well, it's a cheap phone anyway.
Yeah. With the contract, right? It's being sold for $19.99 on the Amazon store. So you can go to Amazon and
let's
buy
give you a
that
better
with
look. Let's give you a closer look at it here. Look at that thing.
It is a tank. It is a tank. Look at that. I mean, that is very Motorola black and yellow.
It's
construction
so
worker, hardcore.
That's then this should totally be on Nextel.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. That old Motorola i something on Nextel. You know, the brick phone. Everybody used to get that huge extended battery on it. So it was like holding just like a giant pipe to your head. Yeah, and they had the rubber grip and everything like this, but instead of red accents, it was yellow.
It's kind of cool. Like, you can see the screws. Like, they totally went all out, and they're like...
Yeah, and they're tri-screws, too. Whatever the proper terminology is, I don't know.
Tri-screws?
Yeah, they're not Phillips head. Instead of 4, they're 3.
Fancy.
So, but this bad boy is supposed to meet all the military specs, you know, in the United States for dust and water and shock.
How shocking.
Yes, very shocking, as in dropping.
Well, now that, like, the military is using Android,
yeah,
I can kind of see why.
Something kind of like this is probably what they'll end up having, because, like, everything, like, this is a locked battery backdoor.
Yeah.
So I'll flip it up to free. Pry this bad boy open.
Ooh, it's sealed, too.
And yeah, you can see around the edges that red line.
Rubber gasket.
Rubber gasket. So let's just keep everything.
Yeah, let's zoom in a little bit more on your cam here.
So everything sensitive is sealed up. So
that's
pretty
cool.
Nice
looking.
And jimmy that back in there.
That's the hard part.
Yeah, you got to slide the front and the top part by the camera in, and press it down. You kind of feel that seal kind of grabs it in there, and then it's lock closed. So in every single port on here is another seal. So if I come up here to the power and pop this open, you'll see around the edges of the power there's like this rubber gasket right on there too.
Yeah, that's cool.
So it keeps the water. And again, this isn't going to be like diving phone. This is going to be like, I dropped it in a puddle, or some water kind of splashed up on it, or whatever.
Or I dropped it in the toilet, more likely.
Maybe. So it kind of slides in.
Oh, whoa.
Press it down in there, and it seals right tight closed. There's another one too up here for the headphones. Yeah.
I did notice that on those areas they also have the water. If you look inside there's the water detection seal thing. Let me see if I can get a good close up of it for you people. Focus, 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 focus.
Might be too much for the meager camera.
Say no meager camera.
Maybe it just wants to focus on my neck beard so much.
It does.
That hot shoulder.
Well,
There it is.
you can kind of see in there.
Oh, yeah, up at the angle right there, yep.
Mm-hmm. That's where the water detection thing is. But you got your seal here.
It's supposed to protect you.
Mm-hmm. And this is kind of nice. I mean, I like the rubber that kind of surrounds it here. This is kind of...
It's definitely
rubberized.
very grippable. You know, like you're not going to be worried about this slipping out of your hands when you're holding it.
Mm-hmm. Is that a little lanyard holder?
Yep.
You can tie it on your lanyard.
Yep.
Does it have a dock? It looks like it has a
Yep,
dock.
that's like a dock connector right down there on the bottom. Speakers are on the front. And also what you saw right there on the right, if you want to go back around there real quick, is actually the on-off button right there on the right side.
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
So when you're holding the phone, it's on the bottom left edge. The complete opposite of most phones, which are either on the top edge or the top right edge for the Samsung Galaxy S phones. So a little bit of a change up. I don't know. And it has no notification light on the front. It's actually on the opposite side of the power button. Yeah, right there next to the camera button. It's got a little notification LED right there. And as Brad said, you know, from a distance, it's actually kind of nicer because you can set the phone down and kind of turn it so that that LED points in your direction. So you can see if you have a notification much easier than the top notification ones do.
That makes sense.
Yeah. But I don't know. I usually don't have the phone that far away from my person. So it is I am very at one with my phone, let's say.
Yeah.
So some pretty cool stuff. Like we said, it's neatly covered in hard rubber. This thing comes with an 800 megahertz processor. So not the fastest thing you're going to be able to get on the market.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's an okay phone. This is definitely not the top tier, but it is a decent second tier phone that you're going to want to get for the shock protection and everything.
Right, especially if you're an outdoorsy or like
Yes.
you do a lot of stuff outside. And for a lot of people, they haven't switched to these touch phones or the large screen phones because they're kind of fragile phones.
Yeah, especially when you look at, like, for instance, the Samsung Galaxy phones.
Right.
Just wafer thin.
Yeah, made of plastic.
Yeah, and you're like, really? No.
Feels like a Fisher-Price
Doesn't
toy.
feel safe.
Yeah.
So
that one's got some heft behind it.
Yeah, a little bit. It's not too heavy
Right.
at the same time. You know, they really, I think, as far as the target market that they're going for, which is somebody that wants a ruggedized phone, this really strikes all the right balances for a ruggedized phone.
Mm-hmm.
So, and again, you know, it's some of it is a little bit out of place. So, like I say, the power button. And
it's like a
everything.
tough book, though. Like tough books aren't the fastest computers, but
But
can
they're
drop
tough.
them.
Yeah.
You can throw them in the back of your truck.
It has a specific use.
That is
You know.
a phone you can throw in the back of your truck.
Well, one of the interesting things about this, though, too, if I turn it back on,
Do it.
Well, the unlock is a little bit different. You slide it, you know, to this side to unlock or that side to mute, but it's pretty much the same mechanic, I guess, in the end as what the normal procedure is for Android, but it just looks totally different. But over here, you have this action button. It's not a camera button. It's below the volume rocker, above the power button. You hold down the action button, and it launches this special little launcher with all these apps that are basically geared towards active people. It has the Earth Compass, which I'll talk about a little bit later. A walking counter, which is like a pedometer.
That's cool.
Adventure training, which will actually let you monitor your runs. Like if you're a runner, it'll measure all that information and show you where you can make improvements and, you know, all kinds of great stuff. I'm not a runner, so, or at least I haven't been in a long time. Trip memory, which is like a scrapbooking picture geolocation thing. Thermometer, pretty
like
self-explanatory.
It's tracking your trip location.
Tides, and these give you cool graphs and animations and stuff, and that show you the. I think right now it's set for someplace on the West Coast, Santa Monica.
Okay.
So it shows when the tide cycles are. I mean, look at this. This is very slick.
Yeah.
You know, it should not be said that that they didn't put some thought into some of this stuff on here. Sun and moon, stargazing, of course, and you can go in here and manage some of the settings.
You can turn your G switch off.
Yeah, well, like the pedometer, you can set it so it'll constantly monitor your steps,
Oh.
or just when you have the
So it'll run in the
the
background.
thing open.
That is really cool because you always have your phone with you.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
you can switch your temp display. So if you're really hardcore into science, just go back to Celsius.
Ooh.
Whatevs.
That's
So, and of
hardcore.
course, a how to use button down there so that you can get a tour. So the Earth compass I want to kind of skip because on here they also have a widget. You see, it's not doing anything, but you just touch it, and then all of a sudden, it's a compass widget.
So it shows you what direction is.
Yep. So as you're
Right.
walking, you can be on your home screen and access your compass and still use it. Then you have things like here's that tide.
And that's
one
just
that
a
we were
little
just
widget?
looking at. Virtual Trek. The Virtual Trek is like it lets you walk the same amount of footsteps. Say if you were gonna walk to the South Pole.
Oh.
Those kind of interesting
That's
things. So you get the moon, and it shows like when moonrise and moonset, and then it'll switch to sunrise, etc.
Cool.
On there, but on the home screen, again, they have all these widgets for all kinds of different stuff. But this is one of the cool things I want to show you. The widget for weather actually has two different coats. Okay,
Yeah.
it shows you what coat to wear for, depending on
How
what
cool
it
is
is.
it?
They have like a consolidated social app there.
Mhm.
But you'll notice this home screen is a little bit different. Along the bottom, they have indicators or
Oh,
whatever.
yeah.
But it kind of reminds me of the Motorola. What the heck is that thing called? It's on like the Droid 2 and all those. But it kind of reminds me of that style of home screen.
Right.
But it's just a little bit different. They put a phone down here on the left, and then they have this other thing over here that is like a, I guess like a quick launch thing. It reminds me of the Wave launcher that Brad uses, but it doesn't work on every screen. It's only on the home screen. So all you have to do is you grab it, you can slide it up like that,
Ooh.
and then you have all these different shortcut apps: contacts, email, messaging, voice control, and calendar. You just select one, and you're right in it. But you can also just slide it up, and then let go,
Oh, that's super nice.
and it launches that.
And that's built right in.
Yep, it's right on the home screen. So you just hit home. You got this little, fast launcher.
Huh. How fancy.
So especially if you're used to, like, I'm a left-handed phone user,
Mm-hmm.
this is perfect. Follows that pattern right there on purpose. I
You're
suppose.
weird. Can you move it over to the right?
What do you mean it doesn't? No, that's a phone over there on the other side. Yeah, it doesn't exactly work like that.
Mm.
So, but again, some of the stuff, I love the apps that are included on it. This phone is definitely one of the cooler Android phones that kind of blur the line toward feature phone.
Yeah.
Where this is definitely geared towards somebody who's more outdoorsy. It comes preloaded with a lot of apps that I haven't even seen on the Android market, and certainly not packaged together like this is.
Well, it definitely has a killer feature with that, like the just ruggedized.
Yes. Yeah. And again, if we just went down by personal choice, I wouldn't buy something like this for myself.
I would have.
I'm definitely more like the power, hungry
Yeah.
kind of user.
A few years ago, when I was like in a position where I was doing a lot of work outside,
Yeah.
that would have totally.
Yeah.
Or
And some
when
of
I
the
worked
other.
when I
go
worked
ahead.
at camp, that would be a perfect camp phone.
Oh yeah, and the battery's a little bit bulkier on it too. It's like a 1400 some odd,
Mm.
whatever the measurement is for
There
that
we go.
battery. So, which is pretty decent. The G1 came with like 1100.
And the price is right.
Yeah, $20 for a 2-year contract on it. So, I definitely think the target for this is like the construction. Pretty much anybody that used to carry those old Motorola phones.
Or if you drive a Hummer.
Yes, you want to ruggedize your phone.